General Fan Changlong, Vice Chairman of the Central Military Commission, along with high-level delegation, traveled directly to Cuba from the U.S. CCTV's Michael Voss is joining us live from Havana with more. Michael.
Susan, General Fan Changlong is the most senior Chinese official to visit Cuba since that historic announcement last December that the United States and Cuba were going to end more than half a century of hostilities and restore diplomatic relations. So part of this trip will be to focus on just what impact this is likely to have on Cuban-Chinese relations. General Fan spent 5 days in the United States. He was due to fly here from Washington on Saturday morning, although I have to say we've still had no official confirmation that he has landed.
General Fan's U.S. trip included talks at the Pentagon with the U.S. Defense Secretary Ash Carter, as well as visits to army bases and an aircraft carrier. It was seen as an important trip to improve communication between the world's two largest economies amid heightened tensions between China and the U.S. over the South China Sea. His visit to Cuba is the latest in what are regular, high-level exchanges between senior Cuban and Chinese military officials. Last year, the chief of China's General Staff, General Fang Fenghui, was here. Cuba's armed forces rely heavily on old Soviet-era equipment, much of it in need of repair and spare parts. The Chinese military has similar hardware, and Cuba is looking to Beijing for assistance in maintaining its defense capabilities. But supplying Cuba is proving problematic, particularly with the U.S. arms embargo still in place. In February, Colombia detained a Chinese ship bound for Cuba carrying shell casings and explosives, listed on the ship's manifest as grain. China denied any wrongdoing, saying the ship was transporting regular military supplies to Cuba and that it had not violated any international norms.
Susan, the ship was eventually allowed to sail on to Cuba, although the captain was detained. Now, Cuba was recently taken off the U.S. list of state sponsors of terrorism, which does include an arms embargo, but there are no United Nations sanctions or arms embargo against Cuba. This is purely a United States affair and should not affect Chinese sales at all.
Michael, what is on the agenda during the trip, and is General Fan expected to meet President Raul Castro?
Right now, Susan, both sides are keeping very quiet about this trip. Neither the Chinese nor the Cubans have released anything of his agenda. We do expect him to meet President Raul Castro. Remember, President Castro is also a general in the Cuban army. He was the world's longest-serving defense minister before he became president. And certainly the last senior Chinese figure who came here, General Fang, who we mentioned, he met with President Raul Castro. And General Fan's predecessor, the former vice president of the Central Military Commission, who came here in 2011, he also met with President Castro. Now, it's very much of a two-way process, this. A lot of Cuba's senior brass have also gone to Beijing, where 3 years ago, they agreed to enhance military exchanges, including cooperation on personnel training and other areas.
Michael Voss, thank you for that, reporting live in Havana.